Alright guys, so starting next week we're going to do some box squatting occasionally in the gym. It's something we've done in the past but haven't done in a while, following suit with K-Star's emphasis on mobility WOD. The reason behind this is to teach us to use our hamstrings during our squatting mechanics, but also during any lower body pulling mechanics like deadlift and Olympic lifting. Hamstrings, that's the intent behind this. So I'm going to demonstrate a box squat without any load, and we'll talk about how to do it with load. We can do any width of stance that we want. We're going to teach you initially to use a little bit wider width. This is going to allow you to feel a little bit more tension in the hips and emphasize the requirement to spin the hips, spin the knees and the hip out and pull the knees back to stand up to feel tension in your hamstring. The box height we want just at parallel or just above parallel. We don't want box squatting below parallel for this. It's possible to do it, but in our gym over the next couple of weeks, we're not going to box squat below parallel. We'll keep it at or above, slightly above parallel. You can use box plates or the green, small green boxes stacked. Okay, so I get set up a little bit wider grip width than normal, toes pointed straight ahead. I get organized, so I engage my butt, squeeze my belly, externally rotate my shoulders. I encourage you to interlace your fingers and spin your palms towards each other to get external rotation in the shoulder, just as a cue, okay? It's not a requirement, but it helps feel that cue of external rotation in the shoulders. All right, I start my box squat by simultaneously and at the same time bowing over and spinning my knees out, okay? When I bow, I'm actually pulling my entire hamstring back towards the box. So I bow and spin my knees out, keep pulling my hamstrings back and sitting back until I touch down. Notice my shins have stayed vertical. My knees don't shoot forward. I'm going to demonstrate what we're not looking for. We don't want to see this movement here. Okay? My shins are definitely not vertical. My knees are forward and I'm on the very edge of the box. Okay? That's a quad-centric squat. I did not load my hamstrings. So, butt, belly, shoulders, bow and spin, pulling the hamstrings back. It's okay to keep bending over as long as the distance between your belly button and your sternum doesn't change. As long as I don't do this and I don't do this, we can keep bending over to put tension in the hamstrings. This is totally cool. To stand back up, I will likely need to bend back over to lengthen the hamstrings again. As I stand, I'm pulling my knees out and back to stand up. So it looks like we're rocking forward a little bit. That's cool because that's what's going to put tension in the hamstrings, but my knees can't follow that movement. I can't go like this to get out. We don't want the knees shooting forward. Down, up. Constantly grabbing the ground and spinning those knees out and back. No winking of the butt. None of that on the way down or up. Okay, now let's look at it with load. All right. For box squatting, we will use spotters. The spotters are there to not take the weight off your back if you get stuck. They're there to lift the load slightly so you can continue standing up. We can't ditch the weight behind us like we normally do without a box there. Otherwise, the bar hits the box, bends the bar, or bounces back into you. So all my mechanics for getting the bar out of the rack stay exactly the same. I'm not going to review that. I'm just going to demo the same squat mechanics I did there, but with load on my back. All right, that's box squatting with load. The loads for this will be light. We're keeping you no more than 60% of your 1 rep max on your back squat. The intent is focusing solely on lengthening the hamstrings, feeling the hamstrings the entire time. All right.